shall come forth as pure gold. Have you been tried in the fire? Have you been tried in the fire? Well, tell me, did you come through as pure gold?
You kick it like the benefactor's benefactor. Well, truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly, the truth is that you've been an actor. And now your actions got them boys drop the mask up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on Rap a Lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. Listen. I went and got my digits up. Listen. Your favorite, bruh. Listen. You don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with the governor. That's where Rap a Lot, no cap a lot. I used to from Farron down to Camelot. I used to whip up in my granny's pot. She asked my friends, was I? They said, nope, he not. The mind to a praying woman. The truth's a heavy burden and it's weighing on me. Red Doggies caught me slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus like a reverend on me. Chopped it up to sin, took it on my chin. Gotta take some L's if you wanna win. They took a but didn't take us in. I didn't even have no re-up I could re-up with. Had to rob another just to re-up. Pray to God that in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly. I'd rather ask forgiveness like 100 times than be asking for permission in a beggar's line. Cause of who I be and check out how I tend to mine. I got a partner who don't eat no pork at dinner time, but let you act like you gon' ever hurt or injure mine. He have your woman, and that's my dinner time. I keep my eyes on glory till the devil get behind. Now bear in mind the devil made me offers I decline. We not aligned, not combined, I am not confined to any wicked system that these demons.
Folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now a handoff here to his running back. Finding room at the 30. He's at the 50. 30. 20. 10. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And there was so much that was impressive about this play, but it wasn't just what he did downfield. How about what he did behind the line of scrimmage? This wasn't a play where he just had a direct path to get him downfield and make the big play. He had to adjust on the fly behind the line of scrimmage, and in the end, that became a tremendous run.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
There on first down gets him a yard to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
95 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. From the gun, Goldstein. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off near the 26. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play. Right back to him on 1st down. And bulldozing his way through. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put him in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. Pushes him over. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Out is Lutz now for the New Orleans field goal attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
He finds his man, complete. That's Wheeler. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
It's a gain of 4.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
The score, Bills 7, Saints 3.
From the gun on third down, Goldstein. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Goldstein. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Think about the strong safety position. You know, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And he is the NFC rating offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes escaping the pressure right, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off.
Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Back to throw. Goldstein. And this is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. Looking to throw. Goldstein. And his throw is incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. And then
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half, and you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
Credit the tackle to Darius Phillips. Second down at 5. Now a handoff as they run left side. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 2.
And now here's a carry heading left. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Lutz on for the field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Off the play fake, Goldstein. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 78 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He will push his way down to about the 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Goldstein is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Now a handoff looking right. How did he stay on his feet? And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
135 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. Fights loose. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And now here's a carry heading left. Powering his way forward. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is now 13. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now a handoff as they run left side. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Saints. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective,
and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 38. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
176 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Man, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Off play action. Goldstein. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Anthony Schwartz, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Saints are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to have a Bills 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. And now here's a carry heading left. Powerful running. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff as they run left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now a handoff looking right. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Goldstein. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now down to 20.
Saints 34. Bills.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Mahomes now on first down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. The 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 22 yards. And the Saints stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. Lutz with the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Off play action. Goldstein. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So the pitch and catch good for 11, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Goldstein. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Goldstein, now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 35. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Steps away to his left.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out.
It's caught inside the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation. Because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Lots good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats,